blinded by the show. Lights, paparazzi, they know I'm a gold mine. Everybody know me where I go. Why suicidal, hanging with the low. I'm a legend, I'm a fixer, painting portraits. Get the picture like the paper, not the swisher. I'm your elder, call me mister. Y'all should probably do the math. I done been to hell and back. Primo had me in the ass. White boys hitting dabs. Went from bummy to your girl probably bumped me. Thoughts of things, turn a 5 to dime. Nothing to something. It's a classic tale like The Alchemist. Mama would be proud of this. Wonder where I'd be without this shit. Probably down and out and shit. Be easy just like the alphabet. Might wanna reroute your shit. You ain't about this shit, no.
The next morning I wake up hungover in Monica's apartment. Didn't even remember how the hell I got there or what happened. She's in the kitchen cooking breakfast and cracks a joke about sandwiches. Asking her how I got there, she explained that we left the restaurant at 4 a.m. We were leaving. We were headed to Silky's. That I opened the back door to the Hummer, let her in, walked around, climbed in the back seat, and fell asleep. So, since we were heading in the direction of her place, she decided to ask Nakamichi to drop us off. When we got to her place, I woke up drunk as hell. He gave her an envelope to give to me. When we finally were inside of her apartment, I asked where her bed was, laid down, and passed out. Monica explained to me that she took my clothes off and then told me, no, you didn't get no pussy. You could have gotten some, but you were too drunk and sleepy. I asked her, well, did they keep partying? She says, yes. You got a text message from Unc at 6 a.m. saying goodnight. And if anybody had any issues, they needed to speak now or wait 8 hours. Now, I'm sitting there at the table eating breakfast, talking to Monica, telling her how crazy that night was. When she says, that was nothing. She goes on to tell me that these guys actually had toned it down and that she's been seeing them around for years. It used to be Hummers, Lamborghinis, Bentleys outside of the foundation room. But something happened, she didn't know what it was, but they toned it down a lot. So you know them, I ask her, and she says no, but I've seen them. She said she used to be a bartender at Rick's Cabaret on Bourbon Street, and that the new bartenders got the worst shifts, 12 noon on weekdays. The strip club started serving steaks for lunch, and in walk 45 dudes.
She bad, she know, she nasty on the low. She looking in the mirror, she drop it on the floor. She bust it wide open, with a nigga make it yo. Queen, shawty, you deserve the throne. I got too much on my mind for that. I might take my time for this. Baby, you too fine for that. Let me build your confidence. Girl, you so divine with that. I know you read signs and shit, so you wasn't surprised when
some of them in suits and ties, others in jeans and white t-shirts. She said it was the most confusing thing she's ever seen. A bunch of people that just didn't fit. You know, street dudes with sagging pants, dreadlocks and gold teeth, laughing in VIP with suits and ties. White dudes coming in that didn't fit in at all. Female news reporters. It was like an army walked in the door from 12 to 2 p.m. The place was lit up. They would all eat. No drinking. Water for each and every person. Then just like that, you go to the bathroom, come out, and they're gone. Monica tells me that she had seen Unc over 25 times, and everybody loved them. I go on to ask her about the rest of the guys, and she goes on to say that Nakamichi was always there at Rick's, and he always had Megatron by his side. Now, some of the dancers told her that Megatron was an evil bitch, but she noticed that she was always just looking out for her man, and in return, she made a lot of money. And the white girl, the one that they called Helen Keller, she says, I know for a fact the reason why she doesn't talk. Because when she does, it means she's seen or heard something she doesn't like, and all of those dudes take it extremely serious. Your boy Nakamichi takes her everywhere he goes, and she just listens, never saying a word. Monica and I speculate over breakfast about that whole situation. Were they all sleeping together? Were they living together? We couldn't figure it out. But I realized something during that conversation. Megatron was right. Monica was a great chick. We spent the rest of the day hanging out. 4 p.m. rolls around and I get another message from Unc saying, are you still with the girl? My reply is yes. He replies back, I'm coming to pick you up. 45 minutes later, I'm back in the car with Unc, and he says we got more people to meet. But I can't stay out all night tonight because Kennedy crazy ass wants to go to the show. We'll be done by 7. So we head over to this building. I had drove by it 1,000 times over my life and never paid attention. it was a Masonic lodge. Park around back, go to the barroom next door. Sitting there at the bar, he says, listen, some dude's gonna come in here and ask you if you want to be a Mason. Now this is supposed to be done at your house, but fuck all that shit, we're gonna have a drink and chop it up. Now listen to me, everybody's heard about the Masonic order, riding a goat, some stupid shit about crossing the burning sands. But I never had interest in that shit. So I'm like, Unc, that's for you and Uncle Charles. I'm not interested in none of that fraternity bullshit. He looks at me and says, dog, why you so motherfucking dense, nigga? Who you think you was hanging out with last night? Every last one of them dudes was Masons, either active or non-actives. Sit your stupid ass down and wait. While we're sitting there waiting, he says, have you ever studied human psychology? And I'm like, no, I haven't. That's when he pulls out this ink pen and starts to draw on a napkin. He draws a cross and says, what do you think were the personality types of the people you were around last night? I'm like, nigga, how the hell am I supposed to know? Then he goes one by one, breaking down each person's personality. He says Shelby the Don is a flamingo. He stands out, he's flamboyant. He's the type of person that's cool to hang out with, but he's not a warrior. Now, he won't run from a fight, but he ain't gonna run to it either, you understand? Then he says Nakamichi is a lion with armor. He knows his weaknesses and he compensates for them. The women around him are that compensation. One who is decisive and quick to cut shit off, another one who is silent and observes. It's like having 2 mouths, 6 ears, and eyes in the back of your head. But understand something about him. When it's time to make something happen, he does it quick, because he sees it before it happens. Most of the time, that dude is waiting for you to fuck up. Unc breaks it down for me even more. He says, like last night, Megatron pulled you out of the room. She told you what he wanted her to tell you, without them even talking about it. She knew exactly what he wanted. They're fucking weird like that, dude. Be careful when you fucking with them too. You will never get anything over on them. Then he goes on to Regis, the other guy who's an eagle. He flies off on his own, does his own thing, but he always comes back to the nest. The other guy, Denver, he described him as a python. The type of personality that would just squeeze people any way possible to get what he wanted. Then Romello, they called him that because he looked like Wesley Snipes from Sugar Hill. He's a fucking bull, straight up brutal in every aspect of his life. If you cross him, he's coming straight for you immediately. If it's got to do with money, he's gonna throw money at the problem until it's solved. Now, in the middle of us holding that conversation, in walks this big-headed dude. And I mean, this motherfucker's head was big, like water big. Unc reaches out his hand, gives him dap, and says, what's up, big head Larry? What's happening? Now catch this. Homeboy reaches out to shake Unc's hand and bumps into me. A few seconds later, Unc says, Larry, bitch, quit fucking playing. Larry, with a surprised look on his face, says, what? He says, quit fucking playing, Larry. That's my cousin. The guy takes a step back, looks at me, and says, y'all niggas don't look alike. Unc says, bitch, quit playing. That's my second cousin. Quit fucking playing. And that's when Big Head Larry hands me my wallet back. He had picked my pocket, dog, and I had no clue. Then he tries to disarm the situation, raising his hands in the air and says, my bad, dog. You know it's a bad habit. Nigga got a problem. I just can't stop stealing. I've been like this since I was a kid. Nigga need Jesus. Again and more forcefully, Unc says, nigga, quit playing. What you need, Larry? That's when this dude asks Unc for $2,000 to go to a Saints game in Miami. Surprised the shit out of me because Unc pulls $2,000 out of his pocket, gives it to Larry, tells him $1,000 is from him and $1,000 is for me. Larry smiles, turns around, and walks out. Now, I'm fucking bewildered because there's no way you need $2,000 to go to no damn Saints game. It didn't make any sense. I'm like, yo, Unc, this dude just fucking hustled you. And he says, no, he didn't. I just invested $2,000 into a pickpocket. Trust me, we may need him. Besides, the last time he asked me for $1,000, when he came back, he gave me that Mercedes Benz out there. Shit, with $2,000, ain't no telling what that nigga gonna bring back to us. Listen, right after Larry leaves, in walks two Masons. This red dude with freckles on his face, another guy who's easily 6'11" in height. Unc looks at me and says, these are the dudes you need to talk to. Stands up and walks out of the barroom. Driver's license, fingerprint, and hair strand. I'm like, huh? The red guy with the freckles repeats it again. I need a copy of your driver's license, a fingerprint, and a hair strand. I'm like, huh? He repeats it again. I need a copy of your driver's license, fingerprint, and a hair strand. In protest, I said, what you need that shit for? That's when the tall guy says, nigga. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the one and only Dog Waters. And if this is your first time here to the Dog Waters channel, you have no clue what's going on. But what you just listened to is a promo of a story called Uncle Murder. Now, for those of you who've been swimming in the Dog Waters for a while, you know the story behind my boy Unc. You know about his recent murder. If you've been on the website, you've seen the obituary for my mans. And for those of you who are members, you've been listening to this story and you know what the deal is. Like, unlike anybody else, you know what the fucking deal is. But I wanted to do a little sample promo for those of you on YouTube who don't know the type of content that's dropped on imdogwaters.com. So you can take a listen to it, get a sample of it. If I'm you, I'm headed on over to imdogwaters.com and signing up, becoming a member. Now, when you become a member and you go to search for this, when you look on the front page, it's not there. Just search UNC. It's going to pull up all the parts to this story. We're already pretty far into the story. Still got a long ways to go. The next segment is 2 hours long. That's getting ready to drop, and it's a lot to this because it's a very, very long and detailed story about people that I've associated with, people that I know, people that I still associated with, people that I still hate, people that still fucking hate me. But nonetheless, you guys are going to get to enjoy this true New Orleans story, and it really is. It really does give you insight into the city of New Orleans, the people of New Orleans, the culture of New Orleans, and a lot of the things that happen here that show up in the news that you have no clue about. You know, most people think the things that happen and show up in the news are all random, and literally none of it's random. It's all connected to, in one shape, form, of another. It's all connected, from politics to street shit to, you know, education to Mardi Gras to second line crews to, man, it's crazy, to all the way down to, and this story goes deep, and it's going to keep going deep because I'm going to tell it all. It even goes into the New Orleans, the meeting that Mayor Ray Nagin had in Dallas after Hurricane Katrina, the decision to tear down the freaking projects that led to New Orleans being where it is today. I mean, it's deep and it's true. It ain't no bullshit and ain't no lies. So if I'm you, if you want to hear some real stuff, you thought Cable Guy was good? Yeah, Cable Guy was good. This Cable Guy ain't got nothing on this. I'm telling you, Cable Guy has nothing on this. So check it out. It's the one and only Dog Waters, and I'm out of here.